You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Code Rome's.
Welcome back to The Hardpoint, episode number 34. My name is Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name is Cody. I go by Code Rome's.
And thank you. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to tune in, to share your time with us. We know it's valuable.
It is. It's the most valuable thing you have, some would say.
It is. It is. Time is your life's currency, I always say. Spend your money wisely.
Spend it wisely. And today on The Hardpoint, we're going to be breaking down the latest presidential debate, every second of it.
Yes,
yes,
we're going deep. Old guy number one really looked like old guy number two.
Yep.
Also looked like I shouldn't say right in the first 5 minutes of the podcast. I just created more work for my producer, Cody. Sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay. I'll forget. It'll probably stay in.
But what I said was true. Was the ugly thing. Did you watch it, actually?
I did. I watched the first, however long I could take. I just wanted to see it. And it's cool until it's not. And then it's just really not. I'm like, okay, I'm good. It
really, so I did more of kind of like a piecemeal. There was no way I was going to lock in and just sit on the couch for that. So I kind of went back and kind of revisited the high notes. And yeah, it's absolutely on all parts. I guess I have to be careful kind of how I say that, being a government employee, but didn't look great.
Didn't look great.
Didn't look great.
One of my favorite parts was, there's no, which, by the way, I said it jokingly that we were going to break down the entire, I don't really want to sit here and talk about it.
We're not going to do that.
It was a joke. But the funny part, though, is when Biden first walked, there's no crowd. There's nobody out there. And Joe Biden walks out and appears to, give the finger guns to a crowd that is not there. I mean, he was kind of doing one of these, and there's nobody out there, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Maybe for him there were. Maybe for him it was. Maybe they just didn't tell him. Oh yeah, there's no one out there, Joe. Sorry.
What are you waving around?
I thought this is my little gat, my little giat. You know what I'm saying? My son bought this little fake, obviously with the color scheme. This little fake pistol that functions. Not unlike a real.
I was about to say, if I were colorblind, I might not be able to tell that thing apart from a regular one.
You're looking at a different camera than the other ones. Stick them up, America.
That looks way more like a real gun than any gun that I played with when I was a kid.
It does. It does. We were talking about this off pod, but and this is I think these are kind of specially made to kind of look real, which is a little alarming because 20 cents worth of spray paint and I'm robbing a bank with this thing. No, I remember I was saying growing up, there was it was almost like there was a concerted effort to make Nerf guns and squirt guns look
ridiculous.
Like cartoon weapons, everything, all the squirt guns had these big bulbs where the water went, all the Nerf guns looked like space guns maybe, at best. Now Nerf guns have magazines. They have bolts. They have freaking bolt releases.
Dude.
Straight up, there are high dollar Nerf guns that when you shoot your last one, the bolt locks to the rear, and you have to put more in it. It's dude, it's I don't know if it's cool or if it's alarming. I'm kind of neutral on it personally, but it's kind of
man, the Nerf gun is a whole have you ever gone down that rabbit hole? That is a whole sector of people that are hardcore about their Nerf guns.
It is. And they're really there is an arsenal out there. They really have a John Wick level of choices for
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder if there's if at Nerf headquarters they have a tiered system of the the stuff you buy at Walmart is kind of the DC
Sure.
You know what I mean, the cock and shoot, and then they have kind of the B tier, which is magazine fed, but you still have to cock and shoot, and then the A and S tier, which are straight up machine powered, fully auto, drum fed death machine. Well, not
Have you seen the
Dart-
one that's
dart
like
machines.
it's like a 50 cal replica? It's a giant
Yeah, it's
sniper rifle,
got
dude.
like oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah,
like the
I was
50
gonna
like
say,
a Barrett, I guess, huh?
yeah, like a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. Which they also have sniper rifle Nerf guns that have like a bolt action, which
That's
is
crazy.
insanity. To
This
me.
is a whole. We talk about niches a lot, both being very involved in YouTube, and that is a niche that I didn't know existed. But once you find it, it's kind of interesting. It didn't hold me for more
Yeah.
than an hour, maybe, but there's a whole sector of YouTube that is dedicated to people just Nerf guns. They're collections. You can build them. You can. I mean, man, it's wild how deep some people go.
It's weird to me, like kind of apart from that, like everything has a community.
Yes.
There's a fan behind me in the corner. There's a fan. There's a stand-up fan community. There's a group on Facebook, average fan enjoyers, or something like that.
Absolutely.
Fan posting or something like that. Everything has a community. It's so wild to me. Maybe it's. I will say this. I don't know if you can relate because you're less of like a weird hobbyist than I am. But anytime I've joined a group for a thing that I'm interested in, I immediately regret it. Like when I got into smoking barbecue meats over COVID, I was like, I'm gonna join 3 or 4 groups and share my love of cooking barbecue. Mistake. Everyone is awful to each other in those groups. Everybody. Are you in any Facebook like hobby groups?
No, I'm not really on Facebook. So no.
Good.
Well,
Facebook
what do you
is a
mean?
trash
So
can.
you join them, and do you just kind of lose your interest in the subject matter, then you regret it, or while you're
No.
still interested, do you just get annoyed by being a part of the groups?
It's the latter. It's like like guitar groups was the same thing back when I was real big into like collecting gear and
Right.
getting pedals and showing off guitars and stuff. So you get a new guitar maybe, and you're really happy with your purchase, and you post a picture of it,
Show
and
it off.
immediately 8 or 9. The worst one back when I was still going to church, the worst group was the praise and worship guitar players group. I don't remember what it was called, but I posted a picture of my guitar that I got, a really nice Telecaster.
Yeah.
And they roasted me for it because it was not an American Telecaster. It's a Mexican
What?
Telecaster. And I was like,
Get outta here.
Y'all are the worst. and absolutely like feeding my decision to be like, bye.
That's not very Christian.
I was like, what would Jesus do, boys, now?
Jesus would include all Telecasters made
Yeah,
all across the
Squiers.
world. Yeah.
Jesus would play a squire.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
He'd
He
play
doesn't
he would play
discriminate.
a first act. But yeah, anyway, yeah,
It's
stay
rule-
away from Facebook
It's
groups. They're
it's Rule
toxic.
34.
What is Rule 34?
If there's a category for something, it exists online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I'm glad I know the rule now. That's very helpful.
How you-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ooh.
Ooh, you easy boy.
You almost owed me a
Easy.
Coke. Go ahead. Ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
I got a quick, so
Very
quick.
threatening. Very just
Ask me how I'm
threatening
doing,
aura, right?
bitch.
Sorry, yes, sir. How are you doing?
I got a quick
Please.
and so quick. Am I the asshole? And this is it's a personal one. I didn't read this online. This is me.
This happened to you.
Yes. So I need
I-
your feedback and the wonderful community of the
All right.
Hardpoint.
I love these.
Okay. So
Okay.
in my household, I'm on full-time trash duty, which includes changing the trash, right? Taking it out, putting the new bag in, and then once a week, dragging the trash cans out front so the trash can come.
Putting them on the curb, yeah.
Right. So trash comes on Tuesdays. So typically Monday night is ideal. Now, sometimes one could say I might be a little late and miss the trash. Okay. Not all the time, but every now and then I might forget to do it Monday night. I might plan on doing it Tuesday morning, and then that just happens to be the week that trash is running a little early. Okay. So, and I got a full trash can now. And I got another week to go. You can kind of see where this is headed, right? And now it's getting real hot. So we're talking like maggots come into play, like a whole lot of things start happening. So
Just the smell in general.
the smell in general. All right, so I got to drag it back because we got a pretty strict HOA. I drag it back to the side of my house. It's full. So then this entire week, I'm kind of like stashing trash. I might put some in the garage. I got a couple bags in the recycle bin.
Just for clarity, you missed last week.
Yes, correct. Okay. Like this previous Tuesday, I missed.
Okay.
So this coming Tuesday, when I put it out, it'll be the first time in 2 weeks or whatever that I've actually been able to put the trash out.
Right.
So I'm stashing trash. Obviously, the trash in our kitchen is filling up. I got to take it out. I got some in the garage, got some in the recycle bin. It's kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
So my question is, when I take my trash out to the front on Monday night, I'm not going to wait till Tuesday morning. I cannot afford to miss another week. I'll be fucked.
Yeah. That's tonight, by the way.
That is tonight. That is
like
tonight.
You're talking about Tuesday like we're not right up next to it. We're in it. So, but go ahead.
This is why I forget to take it out because, yes, it needs to be done tonight after this pod.
This could have been. I'm glad we caught this. This is good.
Okay, here's where it comes into play. I only have one trash can. I can only fill it up so much. The lid's open. I got 2 bags on top.
All right.
Now, when I do a 360-degree scan, I see other trash cans of neighbors that are not as full as mine. Is it an issue to take my excess trash and toss it inside a neighbor's trash can that is getting picked up in the morning?
Trash transplantery.
Yes.
So, like at a distance, no, it's trash.
Sure.
Their trash is no less maggoty and smelly than yours is.
Right.
Maybe it's worse. So I had a neighbor several years ago who was throwing away grass clippings. He was trying to get rid of them, and his trash can was full. Mm-hmm. And he came over, knocked on the door, hat in hand style, and was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to throw some stuff away. The place where we were at wouldn't take your trash if it was like overflowing. You couldn't put bags on top and all that stuff." So he's just very like, what's the word? Like meagerly asked, "Could I noticed you didn't have a full trash can. Could I put 1 or 2 bags in there?" I was like, "Dude, absolutely."
Yeah.
Like,
don't even have to ask next time. Just
like
go ahead.
as if I was going to be like, "No, I'm saving that for someone else." I would say to ask is probably like the move, but even then, like, I don't think anyone's going to get like, "Hey, someone's putting trash in my trash can."
Right.
I think the only time people get mad is when you're taking things out.
Sure.
But then again, like, should you be throwing anything away in a public trash, or not a public trash can, but a trash can in the public that maybe you would be mad if someone went like if someone was rifling through my trash, I would not care because there's nothing but banana peels and Cheerios and
soggy Cheerios and
If I have a document that has sensitive information on it, I don't throw it in there. I burn it or I shred it.
Okay, hold on.
So
we're going to circle back to the shredding topic. That's a good one. Maybe not here at some point.
Yeah.
So you think I'm in the clear, though? What you think I need to ask?
I think as a courtesy, it's probably a good idea to ask, but it is also late in the evening. Like, like it's not 1930s Great Britain. Like if you knock, they're going to be like, "Who's calling at this hour?" Like, I think it's probably not that big a deal.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it is either, but I know how people can be.
Option 2 is in the dead of night. Now, here's the thing. Everyone's got a Ring. Everyone's got a Ring camera. I guarantee if I walk down your street for 10 minutes, 30 cameras. Just everyone knows I'm there. Straight up. So if you do it, or they just happen to get a motion detection alert on their Ring, they're going to know that guy over there likes to take his extra trash and put it in my trash can.
Yep.
And if there's and even worse, again, back to the shitty Facebook groups, if there's a Facebook group, they're going to blow you up. They're going to be like, "I saw 1234 Johnson Road.
Yep.
He came across the street, put trash in my trash can.
Can you believe
Didn't even
that?
ask."
Yeah.
Do you believe this guy? Where does he get the nerve? So I personally, I am terrified of making people mad, so I would ask, but also, is it really that big a deal?
That's kind of where I'm falling. So what I'm hearing probably dead of night, and just go ahead and mask it up and wear all black.
You need to be full ninja mode. You need to go through your back door, exit through the alley, go around with the 2 trash bags, and then just plop them in there and take off running into the night and go back to your home.
Okay, solved. Will do. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Hardpoint Nation. I can't talk today. And Josh.
Hardpoint Nation. Yeah, there we go.
Hard Nation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easy. I have an Am I the Asshole too. We're running kind of long on our intro segment here, but I will say this. I went to Walmart to get groceries today.
Okay.
And we have a Walmart in my town that is, and I don't mean this to be disparaging to any particular group or anyone who is low income or anyone who is impoverished. I don't mean that this way. It is just a not very well taken care of Walmart.
Sure.
And also, I saw a woman pushing her full-blown grandmother in the little race cart today. So it's just picture in your mind that that's the kind of average customer in this Walmart. Anyway, it's rough. It's a rough Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in there, and it's kind of busy, and I understand that. I know that to people who are out shopping, they are the main character.
Sure.
I'm not trying to get in anyone's way. I don't have my family's out of town right now, so I literally have the place to myself. Not in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a hurry. But there are 7 or 8 instances of people, basket is in front of what I need. Okay. So I pull mine up and I wait patiently because I don't like reaching over your basket.
Right.
I don't if I don't have to, I don't want to be like, excuse me. So I
and you're not going to move the basket.
No, I don't want to touch your stuff. You haven't paid for it yet. I could do that legally and nothing would happen to me, but I don't want to do that because it's discourteous, right? So I wait, and these people park their thing and then like get on their phone or talk to their neighbor that they saw in the store, and they just linger in front of the exact kind of tortillas that I want. That if I wanted to get them, I would have to reach through the grates of their basket and pull them through like I'm a prisoner in a prison. And they're talking to the guy from their church that they just like, oh, it's so good to see you here. This happened 7 or 8 times.
Oh my God.
In one grocery trip. And I was like, dude, I know, you know what? I know I'm not the asshole. This isn't even one of those. I'm not. They are.
Yeah.
If you're shopping, make sure when you park your cart, you don't put it in front of a thing.
Right.
If you do, excuse me, and you see someone kind of eyeballing the salsa or the Reese's Puffs or whatever the fuck is behind your cart, oh, sorry about that, and give it a scoot, give it a scooch.
Have a little bit of awareness, situational awareness.
A modicum of situational awareness. These people had none. They were obliviously just like, it's just me in here.
That's where I will not. I'm not like a confrontational person. In that situation, I would not be shy about saying, "Excuse me, can I get something behind this cart?"
Yeah,
I just,
I wanted to get grass-fed ground beef. I wanted to get just 2 packs of grass-fed ground beef, and this dude had his son in a cart right in front of the grass-fed ground beef, and I stood there. Cody, I'm an idiot. I stood there for 30 seconds, and I looked at it. And I practically salivated. That's how much I was trying to sell the fact that I wanted the fucking ground beef. I was standing there like, that's the one I want.
Yep.
That's it. That's the one I want. This dude looked at me. He looked at me and continued to talk to his little baby son and educate him on how to say words properly or whatever. So I ended up having to go around. I had to reach over his cart. I was like, excuse me, boys. And I had to get the stuff. I could have pointed a gun at. I could have been like, get out of the way. He did not acknowledge that I existed.
That's wild.
He just kept on rocking, and I was like, you should not be doing the grocery shopping.
No,
I think
it looks like you have something else going on. Let's one thing at a time here.
Yeah, you need to get focused and locked in.
Man, we were at the store at the same time as you, and we had one where we were on one aisle, and we rounded the corner, and we're going to do a U-turn to go down the next aisle. And somebody's cart was at the end of the aisle, in the middle of the aisle, kind of at an angle to where we couldn't get by, and they were on the other end. So we needed to get down there, and you can't get by, and they're far. So we just had to walk to the next aisle, go all the way down, and then enter from the other side of the aisle. It was ridiculous.
There's etiquette, people. Look, I have parked my cart and had to walk away because I don't want to drag it around, especially when it gets full. It gets heavy, right? If you're going to do that, leave a thoroughfare. Leave a way for people to get by. And if you find yourself in that situation where you're blocking someone, be aware and just be like, oh, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, here you go. I don't know, dude. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know if that's just Walmart now. That's the way it is. But
Well, we were at Target, so
yeah. Well, I will harken back to the fact I did see a woman pushing her full-blown grandmother, or full-grown grandmother, rather, like in the race car cart. So this woman is my wife's height and sitting upright, hand on the bar, like it's fixing to do a roller coaster drop, and looks me right in the eye as she passes, like she wants me to notice that she is in the Lightning McQueen basket or whatever it is. I was like, why are you, like, get a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They have the scooters.
yeah.
Anything. This is bizarre.
Yeah.
This does not look good for you. You willingly were lifted in there or climbed in there.
How could she
This just
fit?
looks odd.
Maybe I don't even know like what you're talking about necessarily.
Do you know? Okay, your child is not old enough. They have the grocery carts that are like the kid sitting area is not just the little fold it down, put the eggs in there. You don't get to put your eggs in there.
That?
Okay, not like that. That one's a little too low to the ground. So this is the kid sitting area is now facing away from the pusher.
Okay.
And it has like steering wheels and
Okay.
stuff on it. So it's still at about chest height for the pusher. Anyway.
Okay.
Full grown lady in there today is what I saw.
Nope.
I was taken aback, sir.
Like that.
Yes, that is exactly what I saw.
Oh,
That-
I'm pointing at the wrong camera. All right, there we go.
No. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Make sure the viewers get a look because that is absolutely what she was riding in. And was all but mad at me that I thought it was odd. Honestly, I was very puzzled by that. Anyway,
That's
I'm not
funny.
the asshole. I know that for a
No,
fact. I
no,
don't think
no.
I don't think you're the asshole in your situation, but I do kind of hope you go on a ninja mission to throw away your excess trash bags. I'm not
Tune
gonna lie.
in next
You
week to find out if I remember to take my trash out or not.
Throw a GoPro on if you're going to do that. That's great
Okay.
content. Yeah.
I'm either taking the trash out or I'm getting kicked out of my house. It's one of those two things is happening. So
You paid for that house. They can't kick you out of there. HOAs are a poison. Cancer on
talking about
society.
the other person that lives in the house with me.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. She can kick you out of your house. That's true. Hey, what are you crushing?
Tell
me.
I really don't. I got one, and I'm even hesitant to even say it because I haven't been like crazy. I'm still playing the Callisto Protocol. A lot of fun.
Okay.
Digging that
Wow.
game.
Now a full weekend, yeah?
Yeah, full week.
Wow.
Really, that and Dark Matter, which I've already said both, are kind of what I'm still on. Now, in passing, there's a show, me on my reality TV shit again, which I love. It's a show on Netflix called Owning Manhattan. And it's kind of like, have you heard Selling Sunset? It's like those realtors in California that sell like
Okay.
the giant mansions.
Real estate. Yeah.
It's like that, but it's in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So, $50 million condos and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of fun to watch because the dollar amounts are just, you can't even wrap your head around them. And
insane.
it's so
And
unique.
I'm sure the buyer is like, I fold napkins or something.
Everybody's a douche. Like everybody
Yeah.
sucks. Everybody's
Yeah.
just, I wouldn't want to be friends with any of them. But
Yeah.
as I'm watching on my couch through my TV, it's kind of entertaining. And unlike the California ones where you have these big mansions with like pools and they're on cliffs and like up in the hills, like these are all just condos and skyscrapers. And so it's cool and unique in a different way. So I've seen a few of those in passing as my wife has been watching. It's pretty entertaining. They had one. It's the tallest, boy, I don't even know the exact stat. maybe the tallest building in the U.S. or something. It's the very, very top, 17,000 square feet,
Whoa.
$250 million.
Good God, dude.
It's above where helicopters fly. They're on the patio, and they're like, you look down at helicopters flying around the city.
That is the budget of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
That's like, there's 8 people in the world who could buy that home.
Yeah. $250 million. 17,000 square feet, dude. They had a ballroom. A whole ballroom in that condo.
There's can't relate, and then there's, I give up.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if we go
relate.
in together.
I'm pretty sure if we got 250 of us,
We'd
Whatever
still be a little short.
we'd still come up a little short. Yeah.
Oh, anyways,
I
Owning
just-
Manhattan. If you like dumb reality TV show with like really expensive property, you might enjoy it.
I think there's a degree of that that's interesting to me, but yeah, I can't fathom. That's so not my life.
When
Sorry,
the hard point
there's-
really takes off.
I'm watching my camera feed over here. The bugs in my room right now are insane. I need to talk about like my drink cups. Anytime I get a beverage, water, coffee, I have to take like a flat something or other and like put it over the top because bugs, like tiny little fruit flies, we're not gross. I sweep, take my trash out. I do my dishes. I don't have standing water. The bugs out here in the country are crazy and they will get in your drink. And I have been drinking a beverage several times and been like, and I spit it out. It's a tiny little fruit fly, man. So I now have habitually like checked my drink and more than a couple times have had to like, sounds gross.
That's
Cody's
like the
never come
cost
to
of
visit me again.
living in the country. Like in our neighborhood Facebook group, all the people that post pictures of scorpions, snakes, all that shit are the
Yeah.
ones that back up to like the
creek or
wilderness.
whatever.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So great view. I've already said it more than once. If I found a snake in my house, I would burn it down and move out. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a give and a
feel
take,
that.
I guess, of living next to.
I feel that. We
Yeah.
do get fireflies though. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
So for me, are you done crushing? You crushed?
I'm done crushing. Go ahead and crush.
Fully crushed. So I have nothing new, honestly. I ran a couple Fortnite matches, solos. I think when you play by yourself, it really changes how it match makes you.
Right.
Because I got in there and just got completely embarrassed.
I thought you were going to say the opposite. Like you did really well.
No, it was not like playing with my son or with you where we were kind of, everyone was kind of contributing. Like
Yeah.
I maybe got 2 or 3 kills, but it was really, for the large part, just an embarrassing thing. I literally like got on my PC and I was about to double click Helldivers to open that up. I got 1 click in. I literally highlighted the icon. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to play Helldivers. So I'm kind of, honestly, I'm in between I'm officially in between games right now.
Download the
and then
Callisto protocol.
I might,
It's on
man. I
Game
really
Pass.
might.
Yeah.
I really might, yeah. And then as far as shows are going, we are about to finish What We Do in the Shadows, which is that mockumentary vampire show.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can give it a pretty solid like overall rating, and I would absolutely rate it a B. It's definitely not as. It's weird how there's like more action than there is in like The Office. It's definitely
Right.
like it's obviously like vampires and like stuff's happening, all this craziness, but it does not hold my attention the way that The Office did when I was watching that.
Sure.
It definitely has kind of slower moments. You can tell it's kind of trying to be quotable in the way that kind of The Office was kind of naturally just like
Right.
there's still people, 10 years after the show's over, people are still walking around quoting Dwight or whatever, which is fine.
Or that's what she said.
yeah, that type shit. So this show, I think, tries to have a lot of moments like that, and some of them are kind of like, I'm not gonna say that. Like it's funny that you said it, but I'm not gonna say that. So it's a solid B. It is funny. There's certain moments where I have had like out loud ha-has. So,
yeah. Would you would you recommend it to a friend?
I honestly, the first season or two are probably the strongest.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely recommend starting it. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm telling my wife, like, if we left this show and never came back and never finished it, they haven't teed up any kind of big, like, culminating event for the last, several episodes. So I don't really see walking away from it as being some kind of loss on, like, oh, I'll never know what happened. But it is funny. It has some moments that are straight up funny, but for the large part, I think it's a B for me. Which is not a skip, but not a prioritize above.
Right.
If you got a list of 10 shows that you're trying to watch, maybe it's 10, maybe it doesn't make that list.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's never really been on my radar. I've heard it from a lot of people. It's funny, and I feel like maybe I even tried to start it one time. And it's like, I think there's something here. It's not really speaking to me personally.
Sure. It does kind of have that look. Like, obviously, most everyone in the show is a vampire, so it does kind of have that look of, like, I'm not really into horror films. I'm not really into, like, old vaudevillian, like, cabaret or anything like that. I'm not goth or whatever. There's a lot of elements of the show that are for people who aren't. There are a lot of elements of the show that are for normal folks that are still funny.
Yeah.
So there's something there for everyone. I just don't know if it is all good, but it's all pretty good.
All right. What we do in the shadows? A definite maybe.
A definite maybe, but that's pretty much it. I have not taken a... Now, I mentioned earlier, I have the house to myself for 2 weeks. 2 weeks! So I can watch whatever I want. I will tell you what I am planning on crushing while my wife is gone, because she actively hates this show. I don't know if you watched it. A new season just dropped or is dropping. I think they're doing episodes weekly instead of a mass binge drop. I'm going to watch, start to finish as much as I can, The Boys.
Oh, man. That's I watched the first season and loved it. Loved it. Like, loved it.
Yeah.
But by the time, and this is a whole nother conversation, I have a beef with shows, one, taking too long to come back around for the next season, and then not giving me a proper recap. Because by the time season 2 came around, I didn't know what was going on. I watched an episode, didn't give a shit, and I haven't watched it since. I loved it, and never went back to it because I didn't understand what was going on, and it took too long.
I have watched season 1 like you. I watched season 1. I watched part of season 2. I am planning on I'm going to watch everything that's out there while my family's gone, because my wife hates the show because it is obviously hyper violent.
Yeah.
And that is just not her delight in life. So I'm going to smash, hopefully, The Boys while she is gone.
It is a show that I haven't finished that does bother me that I haven't finished it. It goes in that category. So it's on my one day. Hopefully, I would like to return to that when I had the opportunity, for sure.
Yeah. If you need me to trudge ahead, I will scout the way for you.
Okay. Report back, please.
I will absolutely report back and let you know if that show is... I have a feeling I'm going to love it. I can feel it. In season 2, I can kind of feel it getting a little more heartfelt.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that it is going to kind of swing. I think the hyperviolence stays, but I think as you kind of get to know and get invested in the characters more, you get more out of it. So,
well, if you rave about it, that might be the thing that kind of nudges me to get back to it. So I'll be curious to hear what you say. Excuse me. I just ate. My throat's a little clogged up.
Wait, was that a sneeze or a burp?
That was like a clearing of the throat.
Oh, okay. It looked like you sneezed, but then you said, I ate. I was like, that doesn't cause sneezes.
When I eat too fast, afterwards for 20 minutes, I'm constantly having to clear my throat. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
You're like me. I get a good meal in front of me and I go down. Yeah. I got
Crush.
places to be.
Some might say.
Rush. Yeah. Absolutely.
No, crush.
Crush. I do rush, but I also crush. In the crushing, I am rushing. And in the rushing, I am crushing.
You want to talk about Dr. Disrespect?
Yeah, we can. Actually, it's 36-33. 36-33. I'm going to get a refill real quick.
All right. Everybody sucks. Anus.
Yeah, so kind of a big week for the I guess kind of the behind the scenes gaming world, and I want to kind of preface this by saying that we're kind of I personally am going to steer clear of any kind of hot take or like here's what I think, because I think I've done that in the past. I put my foot in my mouth, so I really am just kind of trying to keep it objective here and not. I will say this. And I think this is something that any decent human will agree with. No grown person should be texting a person who is not an adult.
Right.
For any reason. Absolutely not. There's no reason. Unless that person is your child, a niece or nephew, grandchild maybe. It shouldn't happen. And I think everyone kind of knows the context that I'm talking about. So I'll throw that out there, that I'm vehement about that.
Yeah.
I have 4 kids. If I found out an adult was texting them, it's on site.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Dr. Disrespect is done, seemingly. So,
And this all happened some time ago, right? And it's just kind of resurfaced because a Twitch employee decided just to throw it out there years later. Now, was that employee, was he still with Twitch when he decided to do that, or did he get let go?
no, I don't know if he quit or just doesn't work at Twitch anymore. So for anyone, I think I'm going to give you as much of the scuttlebutt as I can just off the top of my dome. So TwitchCon 2020, or during 2020 at some point,
Right.
Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch for reasons unknown at the time.
Which was wild.
Which is wild. He was huge back then,
Yeah.
as he is now. They banned him. There was a lot of litigation. They ended up buying out the rest of it. Like, they paid him the rest of his contract, what he was owed. And he walked away. He streams on YouTube now. He has streamed on YouTube for the past 3 or 4 years. No one really knew why that happened. There was a lot of, conjecture on why it happened. Then last week, he's smack in the middle of a stream. He's streaming Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, which is the new Elden Ring DLC, which I have not played, so don't ask me about it. It looks hard. Smack in the middle of a stream, gets a text from his video game company that he has helped form, seemingly telling him that they are discontinuing that partnership.
Midnight Society, right?
Midnight Society, yeah. I think that's the name of the studio. Some people have said that's actually the name of the game they were making. I don't really know. That was not something I was aware of.
Dead Drop is the game.
Okay, all right. Wasn't aware of that. Anyway, this guy, this unknown Twitch employee, without even naming Doc, comes out and says, he was let go because he was using Twitch's Whisper feature, which I guess is like a DM on Twitch. I don't know Twitch very well.
It's already a creepy name. Like, if you're whispering and underage, that sounds worse than...
Yeah, I'm 36 and I whispered to a minor today. You should probably kill me. Yeah. So anyway, he was using that feature to talk to a minor and potentially meet up with them, I guess, at TwitchCon or something like that. They didn't actually end up meeting up, but Twitch can look at those messages, and I'm based on this, I'm presuming if you've got a high-profile user on your platform,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of, there's an element of that's kind of spooky. Like, if I were to magically, I don't plan on this, but if I were to magically get huge on Twitch overnight, knowing that if I sent anyone a private message that Twitch HQ could peek in through the blinds.
Just look at that, yeah.
I guess I'm never using that feature ever again. Like, what a worst case scenario, I just made a dumb joke in there or something, or
Right. So you said in the middle of a stream he found out. Did he? I haven't seen that. Did he react to it on stream? Did he cut it short? I mean, how did that whole thing go when he found out?
He did, and the worst part about this, because Like I'll say it for myself, and you know, maybe Cody will say it too. But we were fans of Dr. Disrespect. Like we've sent funny clips. He's a funny
hilarious.
guy.
Yeah,
Absolutely. When he's, you know, and you may agree or disagree. I don't know. Maybe for you prefer a more like chill, conservative streamer. But in my experience, I always thought it was fun how he got into that character. He really bought into that, and he would act crazy. And mad for him was not 60; it was 1,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, whether he was getting killed or killing someone else, it was always usually warranted a laugh.
Yeah.
But there's this moment in this video, and I'll send it to you after the fact, Cody. But he's streaming Elden Ring. He's not in a fight or anything. Like he's kind of in this chill moment. Elden Ring, I know you've never played it, but has a really remarkable score for just kind of just like just open world, overworld music. And there's this really melancholic tune just playing in the back, and you see Doc kind of bring his phone in close, looking at it, and you see his entire demeanor melt. It just absolutely disintegrates, and you could tell something's not right. And there's this just like depressive medieval music playing in the background.
Wow.
And it now is, in my mind, like the soundtrack of the destruction of an empire, essentially.
Is wild.
Anyway, he's come out since then. He had this big, if you go to Dr. Disrespect's Twitter, it's still, I just checked. I'm not going to read his response tweet because honestly, it's very deflective. It's pretty cringy.
Man, that's what I
kind of,
yes, when it gets, that's what I wanted to talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much as far as it's gotten. I mean, he came out, he piped back or clapped back at this accusation and was saying like, let's cut the bullshit, and was saying like, yes, it's. Let me just say this, and I'll be done because I feel like I've been yapping for a second here. Ownership with but is not ownership.
Right.
If you fuck up and you say but I didn't do this,
right,
or it could have been worse. if at the belly button of your apology you cannot just be remorseful,
right?
I feel like if he had just been like, you know what, I got a problem, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
I fucked up. End of story. We're probably looking at 5 to 10 more years of Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Deadass. Like I really do think and I'm not making an argument for talking to a minor, because you never should do that. That's absolutely unforgivable. But the deflection and the pride on display there is really remarkable, and the fact that he is doing it as the character, like it's so hard for people to remember sometimes. Like, this is a guy who puts on a wig and a pair of sunglasses, and he is literally living that craziness through probably the most turbulent season of his life. Is bonkers to me.
Man,
Sorry,
that was
go ahead.
my exact thought, and what I really wanted to talk about was his response, because I mean, you kind of just took the words right out of my mouth. It was very deflective.
Sorry,
and
I was
my
going
whole
for a long time there. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. My whole issue with it, and again, we're not a hot take show. I'm not Stephen A. Smith. These are just kind of like my thoughts on it. He was in character for that entire apology. That's exactly what I was thinking as I was reading it. And I think that's a moment where you just have to get the fuck over yourself and realize you did something you weren't supposed to do. And just, Dr. Disrespect is not the one that was sending those messages. It was you. No. Yeah. And so you're the one that needs to answer for it, not play your character, deflect, and then somewhere in there along the, towards the end, he's like, along the lines of like, I'll be back. Like, they're not going to fucking, get rid of me. Basically like it was very like defensive and almost taunting. Like, this isn't going to do shit. It was a very, but, and maybe the most troubling part to me is, and not that this would necessarily make it all better, but nowhere in there did he say, I didn't know she was underage, or she told me she was of age. And if either of those were true, you would absolutely say that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he didn't say either of those, to me, says he knew she was underage and he proceeded to do whatever he did. I know the extent of the conversation, but those are like the only two potential force fields that you could have had. The cards you could have played. I didn't know, or she told me she was overage. And you didn't use either of those.
Yeah.
So you knew what you were doing.
And I watched another. I can't remember where I heard it. I'm sorry, but another kind of video game journalism pundit made the point that like a lot of the things that he said, kind of in deflection, and I really think it would even kind of encompass what you just said, like things that he could have said.
Right.
All of them sound like things that people say when they're on To Catch a Predator, and what's his name?
Yeah.
I almost said Jim Henson. It's Jim Henson's the guy who did like Kermit the Frog. What's his name? Fuck.
I don't know. Chris Hansen?
Chris Hansen. Thank you.
Yeah.
When Chris Hansen comes around the corner,
Right.
like, I didn't know, she didn't tell me, or well, nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
all of this reeks of that.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that nothing happened. I'm grateful they didn't meet up.
Yeah.
But also, you should not have an audience of 5-10 million people, however much. You shouldn't have an audience at all.
To me, it was a very like egotistical sounding response. You know, like
Yes.
I'm untouchable, and maybe if I just put a stranglehold on this character and don't break character, you know, and how would Dr. Disrespect respond to this? Then maybe I can kind of like bulldog my way through this.
Yeah.
And I think you have to come as a like humbled whoever you are and say, look, I did something that was very wrong and there's no excuse and blah, 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 blah. And just kind of fall on the sword and then step back. And I think things would be 1,000 times better for him had he done that. But he came in very aggressively as his character with no remorse. And I don't know, man.
I
It
mean,
was disappointing.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Not that I need to make it clear, like, neither I or Cody were looking to Dr. Disrespect in some kind of like TED Talks regard of like, this man, what a hustler, what a grinder, man. This dude just out here getting it. He's like, honestly, like, obviously it doesn't compare, you know, but he was like me, a guy who at best was just making people laugh on the internet.
Yeah.
Which inherently I think is not a harmful thing.
Right.
But whether me or him or anyone who has any kind of level of influence to use that to manipulate or lure.
Right.
And that's the thing to me is like, it's easy for people with a lot of followers to lure, especially young, impressionable people, into situations where they don't have control and agency.
Right.
And it's upsetting. So anyway, I teed this up and said, I don't have any hot takes. I feel like I've kind of done that.
Those weren't scorching hot. Those are thoughts. Those are opinions. It's nothing crazy.
Bit. All that to say, it's kind of what's happening. And like, I feel like as a dad and as a gamer, both of us felt compelled to kind of like talk about it, you know, because it was on my mind a lot. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was absolutely a huge fan. I have a friend, Adam, who a lot of people don't know. Cody was one of my groomsmen at my wedding. The other groomsman is my good longtime friend, Adam, who has a Dr. Disrespect mouse pad. Threw it away. Was dead ass like, don't want it. Yeah, straight up. Guess I need a new mouse pad. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, straight up. I think his time is over, and it's unfortunate because I think the potential there. You know, again, very funny guy. Really enjoyed watching him through the years, but I'm not gonna hang around for that behavior. So, and I don't think anyone should.
It's a crying shame.
It's a crying shame, man. But anyway, that's about all that. Hey, let's do some write-ins. What do you say?
It. We got a week to
do
catch up on them anyway.
We
Or
do.
got a week
called-
to make up for, I guess I should say.
I hopped in the Discord last week. It said, "Hey, write in," and then we ran overtime on our meaty topic, and did not do our write-ins. So hopefully, we got a little backlog here. Nope, we got 3, and I'm reading these cold. So hopefully, none of y'all wrote anything problematic in here.
Didn't pull it.
I'm gonna go.
Never mind.
What?
So you pull it. I don't know, Dr. Disrespect or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Don't you just love it talking to young people on your whisper feature on Twitch? No, we hate that. Let's see. I gotta turn off. It abbreviates your names when I have the streamer feature on, and dang it, I can't say. I know that's okay. Cool boy, that's cool boy for sure.
3010.
Cool boy 3010 writing in. When you see older veterans, so this one might be a little bit more pointed to me. When you see older veterans, do you thank them for your service? I thanked a Vietnam vet today and told him welcome home. He said admitted his stay. I think, cool boy, that was very nice of you to say, especially those Vietnam veterans, because if anyone doesn't know, Vietnam veterans were not treated very well when they return home. Absolutely, yes. If I see an old guy who is very clearly rocking the retiree fought in a conflict regalia, the hat, the vest, the war jacket, whatever, with like the patches and pins and stuff on it. Yeah, absolutely. If I see you out in the wild, I'm gonna say, hey, thank you for your service. That's a big deal. I don't know, Cody, you got any thoughts on that?
I guess my question would be, okay, I can see that for somebody, maybe a little bit older. Do you like people coming up to you and doing that? Like, not the one punch thing, but just like the military thing. Is that a generational thing? The older people might like it and younger not as much? Or how do you receive? Not that you're going to tell somebody to fuck off because they came up and said they appreciate it, but
get out of my face. No, I think when people come up to me and have said things like, hey, thank you for your service, it's always the intent is always to be gracious and have some gratitude. It's always a little awkward for me because like the response is like someone's just told you thank you for your service and you want to say thank you for thanking me.
Right.
It can be a little awkward. So I've been told that the most correct, courteous response is "thank you for your support," which absolutely is the vibe. But yeah. I've been in the military for a long time, so when people say "thank you for your service," I do. I'm reminded that like, oh yeah, like I can't just like do whatever I want. There's a lot of things I can't do because of my job, and
right.
It's a nice show of appreciation. So yeah, always nice.
Always say it. If you see somebody say something.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like got one more. Sorry, we didn't get as many write-ins as I thought.
Boo.
I know, boo.
What's up with that, guys?
I know. Hey, y'all are slipping, or maybe we're slipping, and y'all just don't want to talk to us. That couldn't be it. A one-player story game recommendation for Cody, Wolfenstein. It's pretty linear, and you get to dual wield stuff from eWolf 019. Have you played a Wolfenstein game, Cody?
That is a great recommendation because absolutely I've played Wolfenstein. I played them both. There was the first one, and then they made the second one, and I forgot what it's called. Dude.
New Colossus, I think.
Yes. Those games are fucking awesome, dude. The story is awesome. The combat is awesome. The whole just idea and whatever, just like what the game is awesome. It's brutal. It's so much fun, man. Wolfenstein is 10 out of 10. So much fun.
I can get down with it, man. I have never beaten a Wolfenstein game. I've played both of them like flash in the pan, just kind of like tried them on. I did this with Doom too, and maybe it's just the kind of like quick touch and go first person shooters that I struggle with. I don't want to be this way because I know these games are good front to start, or start to finish rather. But I have seen cutscenes from Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
And it looks like a truly cinematic game that I really want to play.
It's really cool, man. That would be one of those that I may even consider like running back through at some point. They're really cool.
Is that a recce?
It's a recce. Hard recce.
All right. Thank you, Ewolf, for bringing that recce to the top of the
forefront of my mind. Once I finish, I was gonna tell you, once I finish Callisto Protocol, which I don't think it'll take me much longer than I don't get to play a whole lot, maybe another couple week or so. I'm gonna fire up Metal Gear Solid. It's happening.
Let's go.
Let's happen.
Cody. This is an event in your life, and I'm so excited. I want to be at your side for this.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited. Hey, that's I think that's gonna do it for this week. Keep those write-ins coming in. Link to the Discord in the description. If you go to our Discord, there's a channel called Questions for Podcast. Ask us a question. Q's for P's, baby. You might get read, as Cody often says. You might. I said your line. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We got to figure out how to tee that up better so that you just know it's
well,
coming.
Half the time I'm not even you tee it up and then
you might get distracted, I think. No, we appreciate that. What a fun way to interact with our listeners here. Hey, if you enjoy the video product, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to that 1K marker on or YouTube, as the kids call it. They don't call it.
When we get to 1,000 subscribers, you're not gonna believe it.
You won't begin to understand.
You just won't. Somebody commented and said, these two seats that I have behind me on either side would be perfect for a sit-in.
A sit-in, yeah. Speaking of which, I think maybe we're going to have a live and in-person video coming up.
Unless something catastrophic happens.
Pending catastrophe, as Cody has said.
The next 1 of 2 weeks.
Yeah. We are potentially teeing up a live and in-person video with each other, which sounds awesome because I miss doing that. We did it a lot when we first started the show. Then Cody had to go have a baby.
I know. I remind her every day of everything I'm sacrificing to have her.
You see what you've done to me? Don't you doing? Nah, we're trying to set something up to get in person because we love doing that. That's fun for us. But yeah, hey, thank you for continuing to support the show. Episode 35 coming next week. That's bonkers. It's pretty crazy.
Really is.
Can't wait. Send us those write-ins, and we will see you next week. Want to wish you all little, tiny, microscopic, bad jab blessings on your heads. All right. See you next week.
Get fisted.